Hello guys, so we're here to talk about the update 1.27. I don't know what is a dot one there, but let's kind of ignore that part. So what is this update important? Well, it actually does have a few cool things in it, and some things that I'm going to say are extremely frustrating, so let's get started. First thing is, there's a new legendary. And I've already seen some of her chains. I know there's some that you can't actually see from the book, but let's just say she has some Magnus chain, she has a Metatron chain, and it's a rival one. It's really nice chain wise. So let's get into what she can do. And she does have a buff, well, not exactly a buff, a debuff that's kind of really OP. So her ace is actually decrease the effects of debuff inflicted on the allied team by 7% and increase height by 10%. I know it doesn't sound like that much, but when you're facing any type of dark-based team, it's kind of very strong. Especially since, let's be honest, Metatron's in every team, and she does use a reflex debuff. Vivid Fear is more popular now. She uses a debuff. There's a bunch of debuffs that are circulating, especially the Elaine goalkeeper debuff. So a lot of those are going to be affected by that ace, so it can actually be very powerful against a mono dark or a meta copying player. Plus, it's rainbow, so you don't really lose anything there. Now, on her active, increase critical damage and critical resistance of a designated ally within the position for 5 minutes. It's a joke. I don't find any value in this. On top of it, we all know if she's in backline, she uses it on goalkeeper. 40% for an active is kind of sad, and on a striker, 40% crit damage, kind of still sad. So I'm going to kind of ignore that. Now, what's really cool is the first and second passive. The rest of her skills are basically trash. Fate of Immortal. Recover 10% of the light ally within position every 3 minutes. Everyone gets 10%. Every 3 minutes. That's basically like a silk level skill, except it was divided among the lines. So on a 4-player line, if you're running that, you'll never die. Especially if you're running like a Lucian goalkeeper, and this could make Angela with a Duran in the back line really cancerous. And on top of it, just think of the implications this has for league. Because, and I don't mean league, I mean club matches. Because that means that the backline will always be able to heal whatever's going down. So if you win a match, your backline will be healed up. Who's completely cheated. On top of it, if you have a center Metatron, I mean, this is completely ridiculous. It even increases their attack power. So, I mean, they could have near the end of the game plus 100% attack power. All of that from a single passive, who's very powerful. Then the second passive, resist against the unwelcoming. This is even worse in my eyes. It inflicts 10% action bar damage to enemies within the position. Well, I'm fine with that. We have Valkyria for that. That's not even a problem. I'll accept it. It's kind of strong since it's the full line, but that's okay. And removes active buffs. Now, for all of you who don't know what an active buff is, it's especially going to hit the Thunder players. It's any buff that buffs your entire team. You know those nice actives? Give, for example, a Mariel's give, I think it's 30% DR to the whole team. Well, that's just going to be turned off. And it's going to be a race for everyone in the front line or back line, depending on where exactly you place her. So that's very powerful. This can stop your team from buffing your line, making it much weaker. On top of it, we're kind of scared that it might also apply to self-buffing utility strikers, and this might be a serious problem for Vonchi's Irus. Whenever I meet her in PvP, I'll try to record it just to show you if that actually happens. If it does, our objective will then just be to literally nuke her out. And this will affect whenever she does either one action or she's attacked 3 times. I know the translation's kind of iffy. So attack 3 times is kind of legit, but one action, that's kind of too much. Unless it was only the reduced action bar for the one action, that's just really too much. Now passive free, increased critical and critical resistance. Yeah, okay, that's completely fine. Adios does not possess second save skill like other Najin. We don't care. Her skills are so much powerful. It's fine. Debuff means harmful effects that decrease a player's stats. Well, basically reflex debuff, life debuff. Accumulated debuffs mean buff that require a certain condition to become activated during a match. So they're basically trying to say that this won't affect strikers, but again, it's still unclear. Now let's go down to the other players. I just wanted to spend a bit more time on her because she's a legend. and she's kind of broken. Now we got Rune EE. She got also an art change. We were aware of that. Oh, I don't know. I'm more a fan of her old art, but that's kind of each one's personal thing. Only difference will be the one that increased her pass effect by 30%. Her worst skill is now going to give an extra 5%, max hype 30%, and DR 30%. Because she was kind of slow, so it allows her to take at least 1 or 2 hits before passing. Plus, it's going to buff her active a little bit, as always. Now, Aslan. Another thing that's completely broken in certain metas. Now, what's cool about her before was that there were less types of units, so it kind of worked out. But since there were new types who were added, goalkeeper, striker, she kind of made less sense. And that's why they decided to throw an E and change her role. I'd like to point out that normally players have a role for life. That's kind of how it works. It does do a little bit of a few differences, but the main point here is that her skills have now been changed, and they're going to affect people as classes as always, but they're changed in a cooler way. For example, she used to increase the steal and max life of defender within the team. Now it's going to be of defenders and goalkeepers. I don't remember the exact values, but they're all pretty decent. Storm Tactic will be changed with Blitzkrieg at Extreme Evolution. Yeah, that's fine. Storm Tactic increased reflex 30%, critical damage 30%. Of all of the attackers within the team. That basically means all of you guys who love to throw a Duke in there, that's going to be much stronger. Anything that's attacker style is going to become 10 times stronger. So you can even for more backline attackers, midline could get a serious buff. I don't think that's a great idea for frontline, but you get my point. Blitzkrieg increased the reflex and critical damage of the allied attackers and defenders. So this is going to basically affect all of them. So it's no longer just attackers, it's also defenders, meaning Metatron especially is going to be affected by a 35% reflex. This might affect around half the backlines of everyone. This is just very strong. The only negative thing about it is she doesn't affect leaders, and my team's based on that. But you can really try to do something with her. Like a lot of people are already proposing to throw a mid something like Duke, Metatron, Aslan, and to try to build your team like that. It kind of does look cool, but let's wait and see. Now, Celis has a light EE. He used to be junk, and well, that didn't change. Increase attack power within position, increase critical rate within position, that's just bad. Passive skill Smirk will be replaced by Stand of Pride. Increase attack power 30% and the damage received by 20% of the enemies within the position, and also decrease their defense by 50%. I don't want to say it's as trash as the other skills, but it still doesn't make us want to use him. I'm sorry, you gotta give him more than just that. So he's still out of the question, but he doesn't reduce anything really cool. I'm sorry. Okay, so now let's talk about Al-Qaid. She's a dark special passer. The fact that they changed her art is a sign that very soon there will be an E. There's a pretty big chance they might already even have her. Just art change. Sigmund, I've already pretty much said what I thought about that. I hate the new art. The old one's got much more swag. Now, this is a big bunch of skins. I'm really sad about this because this means there will be no Strength Scout, the special scouts I like, because they're all in a bundle, meaning you can buy them. If you like any of these skins, go. I don't know if I were really to say. I do like the One Punch style blade, the Pharaoh Dark player. I don't know. I don't like the Kiki so much. I don't know. It's whatever you like. On the draws now. We got Rune, Karapila, Kiki, Elua, G, Choi, Alios. So basically, this is a very decent week to draw. First, both legendaries can be not bad. I know people don't, depending on who, some people don't like Choi as much. He still does have a lot of power. If you can build him properly, he can be a really good legendary. Alios just came out, but she already looks very nice. Jeet is more on a dark level. Ilua for light is very good, except we can't get her unless you're using a pick ticket yet or in Scout. So this is when you can get her, especially mono light teams or dual with light backs would try get her. Kiki, well, you can scout her, but she is very good. Kurapila, I can't remember, but she is a very decent Thunder passer. And Renee is one of the best Andor passers. So really, I'm gonna say if you're light, you'd go for it. If you're Andor, just because there's Troy and Renee, I would say you'd go for it. If you're Wormwind, there is Kiki in the mix, and you can try to get Alios. But if you're not one of these, you shouldn't try that week. On the following week, you got Angela, Blade, Beatrice, Celis, Damien, Aleska, Jiho. Well, again, if you're Andor, this is another great week for you because Angela and Jiho are some of the top Andor players. Blade, really old, don't even advise using her as striker. Beatrice, no one uses her. Celis, I don't know why they didn't just change his name to Trash. And Damon is a very special kind of style. He's not bad, he's not great. It really depends on how you're using him. Now, let's go back to the features. So there are a few small differences. Now, I'm going to say I'm very frustrated by this because we lack informations and we can't see them. Meaning they were implemented, but they will only appear at the reset, who kind of pissed me off. So let's go right here. A new season for COD trials, but they won't be in yet. So you gotta wait for the reset. So I can't give you any info on this. They say they might have added. There's new missions. Does that mean newer ones, different ones, more of them? I don't know. I can't tell. I have no access. Did they change the rewards? I have no access. So I will be talking about this next week when I have more information. I'll do at the reset a video just about this. So there's basically no point in me even talking about this. Now, one of the very important thing is for COD, they finally fixed the goddamn helpers. Believe me, when you're going to COD 40 plus and you do want that little buff, it is very frustrating not to have it. I know this means some people might have a chance now, but I prefer that we're all on equal footing and we don't have basically the equivalent of an extra player that's supposed to be a level 180 when we're all thinking our support player would be 1,000 times better. Now I'm only thinking my support player would be 900 times better, but you still get my point. Blah, blah, blah. Nothing really big was done. They did remove one very important thing. There is no longer a team cost. So that's kind of cool. Now, does that matter? No. Do I think it's a good idea overall? I wouldn't actually agree because that means that on early levels when you're starting the game and you were locked by team costs, so everyone was around the same level, it was kind of nice. But now people who spend money, the little whales, will be able to totally wreck you at level 1 and have 7 legendaries in their team. So I'm not going to say I'm the greatest fan of it. And on top of it, I mean, there never really is a big deal where you have team issues. Now, there's a few little things they've done. Now, I'd say another really important thing is they've done exclusive reward added to the Galaxy Super League. But wait again, we have no access to what these rewards are. The only thing we know is that something's going to be happening to the leaders because for some reason they're weirdly flashing. But until the season ends and a new season's, the new preseason ends, so that means in approximately a month and a few weeks, we still won't be able to see what the new rewards are. And of course, you need to wait another 45 days to actually get them. Who means they're telling us they're changing a reward we might get in 3 months. Who again, I feel this is a serious joke and they should at least tell us what they are. I'm sorry, but these things are just kind of annoying. Warning pop-ups when combining, blah, blah, blah. They have already created a bug when they've changed this. I've already tested it out, and it seems now that I can't see the stones equipped to my players from the stone menu, and another bunch of people have complained that some power-ups were just stopping in the middle of nothing, so well done, BB. You've tried to give us a warning, and you've broken the system once again. Same thing you did with COT with the helpers, and it takes you 2 months to fix them as always. Now, one really cool thing, if you're starting or intermediate, they have decided that the beginner, intermediate, expert patches will reset. I have no idea why they did that, but it's kind of cool because those are really the best packs in the game, except for maybe 1 or 2 very special event-specific packs, like the one who gives me a ticket to choose any player I want. Of course, those are extremely rare, and they're the max cost ones. Now, there's a bit more dialogues added. I'm gonna say I'm fine with this. They're blocking the abuse of emulators to reroll. I'm gonna say, why do we care? But okay. Again, they're saying that we can't disassemble. Well, I kind of disagree. We shouldn't, but you know, it's again, we're gonna give up. Kurapika, Durant have changed to Classic. That's kind of fun. I'm going to say Durant's kind of cooler because now you're going to be able to scout him. The boss match against Kamoru is coming, meaning we're going to have a Whirlwind boss. And don't forget that not this weekend, but next weekend there's also Aslan. A voice recording added for Noah. I don't know why that matters, but I guess, I mean, we're 2 years in and they nerfed her so much no one's ever used her again, but I guess now is the time you're going to fix her voice. Now, a little bit of balancing has gone on. So like I said, team cost was changed. So whoever decided that they changed it to cost, they gave extra lodging instead. It's kind of fine, I'm guessing. New skill, increase cost, expand lodging by 5 spaces, 1 space per level, 5 spaces per level. That's kind of fine. Felix Ace will no longer affect certain active skills or enemy debuffs. Well, yeah, we kind of get that. That's not that big a deal either. A reflex formula has been modified. Now, this is kind of a key thing. Now you can finally 7-star your Metatron with no guilt because they have removed the part of the equation that used to divide the reflex. This will be translated an increase in your reflex and increase in the enemy reflex. I want to thank people for have gone up and tested what that meant in high levels of COD. They've tested, I think it was on COD 52 with a before and after picture of Black Tortoise. And the difference in reflex was around 80 or 90 if I remember correctly. So it's completely neglectable and you have no issue 7-starring everyone. Now I just wanted to point that out. They did lower the chance of being counterattacked to 50%. I'm not that reflex heavy, so I don't care so much. I mean, I do have reflex, but my goal is to actually kill them half the time. Now the cooldown has been lowered for free event and friendship draw. It's 1 hour, but it can't hurt. It's just like not that big a deal. I mean, usually we're sleeping when it resets anyway. A bunch of bug fixes. I don't think I'm going to go down the entire list, but you can check them out if in any way they affect you. I don't think there should be any big issue that they fixed. That should basically be fine. So if this helps you people understand what the patch is, it's basically a new legend, a bunch of revamps who we have no access to, and a little change in the reflex system. So have a good day, guys, and I will be doing a second video on this when I finally get the information on COT. Adios.